Okay, guys, so a very polarizing hockey player has, or at least a polarizing in the province of Ontario anyways, has signed a one-year deal worth 1.25 million with the Pittsburgh Penguins. That guy is Cody Ceci that I'm speaking about. And for Pittsburgh, they get him at a much cheaper price. Obviously, Ceci is definitely not worth the 4 million he was making last year. And now Pittsburgh gets a guy who's a bit of a project. I mean, he's not totally cooked, I don't think. I think he's still got some life left in him. I believe he's 27 years old or going to be 27 really soon, anyways. And for Cece, his value has really declined over the years. We obviously remember back to the 15-16 season. This was a guy who had 10 goals and 16 assists for 26 points. And it even got to the point where that offseason, Peter Chiarelli, then GM of the Edmonton Oilers, offered 1-for-1 Cody Ceci and for Taylor Hall at the time. And obviously we know what ended up happening there. Hall went to the Devils for Larson. And to just imagine if Ottawa made that trade, they would have had Taylor Hall and shipped out a Cody Ceci who ended up declining and falling off the face of the earth practically. Although he did have a decent season back in the 18-19 campaign. He had 7 goals, 19 assists for the same 26 points he had in 15-16, but he was brutal defensively. He was minus 22 that year. Last year in Toronto, I mean, his offense just really fell off a cliff despite playing on a very offensive-minded team with tons of superstars. He only had 1 goal, 7 assists for 8 points. Through 56 games, he battled some injuries last year, but still that was really not good for Ceci. He wasn't very good defensively in his own end either. He was a guy that Leaf fans he was kind of the whipping boy for Leaf fans last year. And maybe just getting out of the province of Ontario will be good for Cody Ceci to just have a fresh start. It obviously ended kind of sour for him in Ottawa. It was a very sour year for him in Toronto. Now he gets a fresh start in Pittsburgh. Let's see what he can do there. Maybe they can, rebuild his defensive game. Not that he ever was really good defensively, but maybe if they can get him to pay more attention to the details of the game. I find Cece kind of lapses sometimes, his details. He has mental lapses and he just gets caught in some really bad spots he puts himself in. So hopefully for Pittsburgh they can fix up his defensive game, and who knows, maybe his offensive game returns too. And staying on the topic of the Pittsburgh Penguins, I believe Jim Rutherford, their GM, has come out and said that Kasperi Kapanen, the forward they acquired from Toronto not too long ago, could potentially play with Sidney Crosby and Jake Gensel. And if that's the case, I mean, Kapanen could make Toronto sorry they traded him in an awful hurry. I mean, he's a guy who I think is a 20-goal scorer and 45 to 50-point guy on his own with more ice time. If you put him with Crosby and Gensel, I mean, I could see him being a 25 to 30-goal scorer, maybe even a 65-point guy or something like that. But who knows how that's going to go. Obviously, things have come full circle for Kapanen. We know he was drafted by Pittsburgh back in 2014. Then a year later, he was traded as a part of the Phil Kessel deal, which Kessel went on to win 2 Stanley Cups with Pittsburgh. But now Kapanen's back, and you can really see why Pittsburgh wanted to circle around on this guy. But that's all I got to say for now, guys. Obviously, the main topic of this video was Cody Ceci signing with Pittsburgh. He gets $1.25 million. As I said, will he rebound his game? I think he is still young enough that he could find his game. We remember a few years ago, his game really was looking like it was taking off. And then the later part of the 15-16 season when the Sens acquired Phaneuf. And as much as I hated that move, I thought it really helped Cece's game, and I was hoping he was going to develop. But then, as we all know, he started to fall off the face of the earth. His game did after that, and that's really unfortunate to see. But hopefully for Cece and hopefully for the Pittsburgh Penguins, they can get him back up and running, and maybe he can become the player that we all thought he was going to be when he was drafted, and that we thought he was going to be after the 15-16 season, the one Peter Chiarelli tried to trade Taylor Hall for 1-for-1. But we'll see, like I said, what happens there. But until then, guys, please like and subscribe and share this video, and I'll talk to you again soon.